introduce some new people and people you knew from before. So first, Guillaume, who's our producer on the game.
Hey everyone.
Then we got Emile, who you've not seen before. He's our associate creative director.
Yes. Hello everyone.
Together with someone you already know very well, obviously, Michel, our creative director.
Hi.
On Beyond Good and Evil 2. I just want to talk through the agenda of things that we'll be talking about today. One first thing that we want to mention is the timeline for the Beyond Good and Evil. So we'll be talking about the setting of the game, but also just Beyond Good and Evil in general, how the story revolves up until Beyond Good and Evil 2. And then we also want to show some gameplay, so we're very excited about that. We'll be showing the game for the very first time, so we're very happy to be showing publicly what we've come up with since the last stream that we got in December. Just a reminder, you can ask your questions either on the Twitch or chat or on Twitter. Just use the hashtag AskBGE if you want to do so. And first things first, we want to talk about the Space Monkey program and how that matters to us.
Yeah, thank you, Charlotte. Yes, I wanted to have a few words of introduction before we get into the meat of everything. The Space Monkey program for us is like a leap of faith, right? We're showing stuff at very rough state. We are showing you the way we work. We are showing you some stuff that normally is kept internal, and we are doing that because we trust you guys that you are willing to see that stuff. You want to be a part of what we do. So I'm really proud of the team, of everybody at Ubisoft to do that proactive development approach. So all what you're going to see here is really work in progress, rough. We're going to repeat it a lot, but still, it's our a contract with you that we've made like back E3 last year. We want to be open, so that's the first thing. And thanks for watching and being a part of it. Then second thing is just a word about the project and the team. So the team is now over 120 people strong. We have welcomed a lot of new members over the past month. We also now are working with other studios at Ubisoft. Thank you, Michel. So studios in Sofia, in Barcelona, and in Bordeaux very soon to start on the game working with us. So yeah, the team is picking up on size and strengths. So that's for
Thank you.
Emile.
Yeah.
And the current focus of the team is E3, right? We're going to show you some new stuff today, but we're keeping a lot of surprises for June next month.
Thank you, Guillaume. So now
you've got the hat to talk now.
I have the hat, so I have the right to talk, right? That's
yeah,
how it works.
It's your turn to talk. I also have a challenge from some of our fans to wear that hat at some point, so you'll have to give it to me. But for now, it's your time to talk. Okay. We'll be going through the timeline that we've set for BGNE. So we'll just go through some of the events that led to BGNE 2.
A quick word of introduction about this timeline. You can keep the hat. So it's actually a work document, something we are using to build the world of Beyond Good and Evil 2. So we are really showing you how we're working currently on the game. We are creating this timeline to build the world of Beyond Good and Evil 2 in a coherent and logical way. So it's a tool of world logic. That's how we call it. And so yeah, we're showing that today so you can understand where the world is going and how our story is going to unfold following this timeline. So everything on the timeline starts back on Earth in 2040. And the idea is that at that time, the best scientists on the planet are working together to come up with a lot of new inventions. And one of those inventions is this new revolutionary propulsion engine. I did it. And this engine is going to allow us to cover huge distance in space and make space colonization something real and something that people are going to be able to project into. The next date, important date on the timeline is 2063. Basically everything we have on the network, on the data centers, is turning back against humans. So we don't trust those networks, those technologies anymore, those AI, all those things. and humans are coming back to more, I would say, basic way to communicate and to exchange informations. And that's why you're seeing in the trailer we did last year, you're seeing people communicating with M-Disk and putting infos on those M-Disks. The next date on the timeline is 2086. So it's the birth and the creation of the first talking hybrid. Before that we had hybrids, so humans crossed with animal DNA, but this one is new because it's talking. And what's important, Michel, about those hybrids? Something you wanted to add?
Yeah, it's very important to understand that hybrids are part of that world.
Yes.
They are the power, that allow humanity,
the manpower,
the manpower,
that
allows colonization. They are used as slaves. They are used as experiments. They are sent on different planets.
Yes.
You can compare that to the monkeys that were used during the space colonization.
Yeah. Sending monkeys in space.
Sending monkeys,
like
dogs, and all these animals.
Yes.
So imagine that we have this ability to create hybrids that hold human DNA and animal DNA. You can build them, and you can use them also, like in that case, as toys, as products. So it's quite a cynical way of using life, but it's really part of the world. It's how that specific world is built, and we want it to be as coherent and as logical as possible.
Yes. And so that's why this little guy is talking, because he's supposed to be able to communicate with children. So that's why he has a voice. Next date on the timeline, so 21/8, humanity has to leave Earth, and we are launching several new expeditions to different solar systems that are very distant from Earth, of course. And we're just naming them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what's important is that those expeditions, they will not be in contact anymore once they leave Earth. So we don't know what happens to all those expeditions, but in Beyond Good and Evil 2, we will follow the expeditions that goes to System 3, the system where Beyond Good and Evil 2 is going to take place. Next date, 22/25. So this is one example of a major city built in System 3. It's actually the start of more, I would say, massive colonization. It's not little camps anymore, not little colonies. It's cities with meanings. Of course, this one is dedicated to the divinity Ganesha. But we will also have a lot of other important locations in this system.
Yeah, it's very important to understand that when you use your map into the game, you just press one button and then suddenly you see the whole solar system with this planet, which is a satellite of a bigger planet that rotates, that a revolution around a bigger, the big sun. But of course you will discover other places, other different places in that solar system. And the magic button is that when you just go back again, then you have
you de-zoom and
a bigger picture with the different systems. What is very important is that we want to, for Beyond Good and Evil 2, we want to stick to System 3 and some surrounding surprises, but the overall world is connected. But because we don't want millions of planets, we want planets that have a meaning, that have a story, an history, systems, connections, reasons why there is this city here. As an example, this kind of Ganesha, this kind of city has been built here because when you look back at the planet, you recognize the shape of India.
Of the continent,
Of the
It
continent.
looks like India.
So imagine that you could have the choice between millions of planets that you could study before you start the colonization. You maybe you would choose the one that you connect with the best. So we want to give an history, we want to give a meaning to that world so that it's quite interesting as an adventurer, as a space captain. It's always a lot of stories and myths to discover there.
So you mean that we are reasonable, right? We are doing only one solar system.
Just one.
For now.
So we're moving on the timeline. So 2314. So this is actually kind of a mysterious thing. There's a giant ship traveling in System 3 with a lot of humans and hybrids in it, and it will be attacked, and we don't exactly know what happens. But it's the first time that in System 3 there's a massive aggression on a ship like this. It's a period of peace, so those things don't happen in System 3. So starting from this point, there will be many mysterious things happening in System 3, but we don't say too many things about this right now, keeping some mysteries. Don't want to spoil people. Moving on. So in 2360, what we imagine is that System 3 became such a rich solar system. There are lots of goods traveling on spaceship. It's getting so rich that actually pirates can prosper in this solar system, and we enter a golden age of piracy. That's why we're going to play a space pirate in Beyond Good and Evil 2, of course.
And now for the big...
Yeah, the final date on the timeline. So it's not a date actually, we didn't put the date on the timeline, but it's the birth of Jade, of course, the character you know from Beyond Good and Evil 1. It's important to know that Jade's birth happened in a kind of a dark period. There are lots of dangerous things happening in System 3. People getting killed.
And unexplained things.
Unexplained things, exactly. It's a period of trouble. You have those pirates and you have also weird things happening. Again, we're not saying too many things about this, but it's important to know that Jade was born before Beyond Good and Evil 2 starts. Because if you're looking at the next slide, exactly, you have the time period concerning Beyond Good and Evil 2. That's where Beyond Good and Evil 2 is going to take place.
Yeah, and again, as Emile said in the beginning, that's really a work document for us that we're sharing, and that the whole team is working with that in mind. And I want to stress that the game, because you said it, but I want to say it again, the game is happening in that time frame, right? Not the full timeline.
And what's important is that we're creating this coherent world for people who like to play solo, who want to have a straight story or several straight stories, but also for people who like multiplayer, co-op. This world is going to be able to tell all the stories to those different players.
The document you've just seen here is really a working document.
Yeah.
We've been
adding a few things.
We've been adding a few things, but again, the Space Monkey program is here to share, to have this kind of way of sharing how we work, and you will see that we are sharing this kind of material because we expect you to be involved in the creation of the game with many things that will be announced a bit later. But there are other ways to build worlds. History is part of it because you understand better the reasons of why things are as they are today, how they will become if you understand history.
What happened before.
And when you're working on such a big world, you need nice and big foundations. The reasons, where these people coming from, where do they try to go, and what connects all those people.
Exactly.
There's this strange dark mist, that thing that is around everything that is growing, that is something menacing
and hiding. We don't know what
and
it is,
hiding, and it's also very important when you are talking about space pirates. You expect space pirates myth. You see things that are
legends,
you
like that,
just hear about those things in hidden taverns, and bars, and more and more people are talking about disappearing friends and
ships being attacked.
I think
all those things.
I think it's the time we talk about our space Bermuda Triangle.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
If we can move to the next slide.
Yeah, just to follow up on this, I'm sure you guys have tons of questions on what we just mentioned. There is more to come, but feel free to share away. And also if you have ideas, again, the Space Monkey program, like Michel just said, is here for that. So just head out to bggame.com and you can comment on any of our blog articles, preferably the last one where we announced this live stream, to expand on ideas that you have for the universe. We'll be very happy to read on them.
Thank you, Charlotte. We are making that huge game. There is this logical world with this history, but everything needs to be tied all together with the story. What are you going to do in Beyond Good and Evil 2? As an example, and as a key ingredient into the story, you have this strange galactic object that you have seen at the end of the trailer last year. This is what we call the Moksha door.
Yeah, Moksha's Gate.
Moksha's
door,
Gate.
Yeah.
I don't want to say too much about that. It's both something that attracts you and something that is very dangerous. This is the place where you will go with your spaceship, with your crew. You will be under attack. You will have a lot of things to do there. Here we can see some example and little scenes of the kind of things that you can have around there. But the most important thing is that this is feeding the world. Some people think that they can be free. Maybe hybrids can have a new life beyond that door. Maybe some pirates, they think about glory. Maybe living forever.
Because no one knows what it really is, actually. That's what's
Exactly.
interesting. That's why you have legends.
Maybe this is a huge
People
trap.
don't know.
Maybe this is, and you have all this, this cemetery around.
Graveyard of ships floating.
So, in such a world, it's very important to have landmarks like that. Things you want to reach, you want to understand, you want to dig into. So that's part of the motivation and of what makes you starting the game. About that, we have another very important thing in Beyond Good and Evil 2. It's the fact that you can create your own captain, your own character. And we don't want to stick to human. You can be an hybrid. You can be a man, a female, or different genders. It's very open. It's very important. It's coming from you, Space Monkeys. You talked a lot about who you want to be into the game, what kind of characters, and a lot of you insisted in this idea of being free. Being able to create your character. So the common point is this big world. Those motivations, those very important and exciting things. But you can live your adventure the way you want, and of course you will encounter different characters, friends, and exactly like in Beyond Good and Evil 1, they can become part of your crew. You can recruit maybe an enemy that will appear or happen to be part of your crew, and this is really something that we want to bring to the player.
That's what's interesting on this image, is that it could be your captain, but it also could be your crew members. So you can have this great variety of crew members. Every people you meet in this world could become your crew members, and that's a strong motivation for your adventure and going into the game and exploring everything, of course.
So this is part of the things we will dig into more for the next for events like E3. But it's also very important to understand that you play as a space captain, but you have your crew member that are dedicated to specific tasks. Your big spaceship, the medic, they all have a role. The spy, they all have a very important role, and they extend your abilities to explore more, handle new spaceships, and discover new places. So
and that's why you're looking for the best crew members, actually exploring everything to find the
and
the
you're
best
not
ones.
limited to 3, 4, 5. You have your main crew members, but there's also in your huge spaceship enough room
to store a lot,
to have a lot of friends, a lot of other characters you will encounter, and that will makes you become a space pirate legend.
You want to say something?
Yes, I wanted to say something because this was not supposed to be, but I really like Charlotte. Can we post this after on the blog?
Of course.
Because that's an we cannot see that much, but that's an original artwork from BGNE 1, right? Yes, and tada, that's the Moshka's door. So we have been making a lot of work to tie in BGNE 2 because it's the same universe. It's the same themes, the same stories, So and I found this back in an old in a drawer on the floor here, and I was like, hey, who drew this door? And it was like last year, but somebody told me, oh, it's not last year, it's like 15 years old. So so this is one of the evidences that we are really true to BGNE as a license. So if we can post it, that's perfect.
Yeah, we'll be sure to share it. So we've been talking about the setting, the kind of global story of Beyond Good and Evil, and now there's something that we're really excited to be showing for the first time. It's some gameplay footage of the game. Just keep in mind that this is very work in progress. We'll be showing it, and then we'll be talking over what we've been showing and what we're doing with the game.
Yeah, and just before we play the video, there's a lot of discussion on the blog and around about what is BGNE2 like. Can you say what is it? So in the team we agreed about that definition, right? That's so BGNE2 it's a seamless action adventure RPG that I can play solo or with my friends. Well, that's what we are making. We cannot make it clearer.
Without further ado, we'll now be starting the video, and you can see what Guillaume was just saying in that, but we'll be discussing further right after. Enjoyed this. We were very happy to be able to show this today. Again, very early stage, very work in progress, so just keep that in mind. And yeah, we'll just be talking a little bit about what we've been seeing here. So there's some combat, there are ships. Can you guys maybe cover this?
Just one comment, that was too short. But we want to keep a lot of things for E3. So that's so we fight all together, but but this is just, okay, they're just showing few seconds.
Yeah.
But there's so much to discover for E3 also. But yeah, if you look carefully at what we've just shown, there is one very important thing, is that everything is connected.
Exactly.
You can do everything anywhere at any time. It means that you can have a fight inside of a spaceship that is being attacked. So maybe you are inside of the spaceship. That's part of, if you look carefully, at some point you have Nox, our monkey, is inside a huge spaceship that is being attacked. And he could fight into that spaceship. He could need to get out.
Trying to escape, because it's going to explode, of course.
While the spaceship is collapsing, this huge spaceship. And this is not scripted. This is not a sequence that will happen here and never again. This is just because it happened, because something attacked, or maybe you attacked that ship. And now, as you can see it, here it just collapsed because of your actions. So it's really systemic. It's really epic things you can live with your friends or alone. And those things, they have no boundaries. There's no loading. That's why this game is taking so much time to be done. I've been, a lot of people said, why is it so long? Come on, release the game this year if you can. There is so much to do for this game just to make this possible. Imagine the amount of information that are needed to allow this kind of thing to happen, because the spaceship you are fighting on can move at 2,000 kilometers per hour, maybe more. So everything needs to work nicely, smoothly, like this super attack. So that's where the game DNA is revealed.
That seamless aspect Michel is talking about is really what we want to show as a prototype in that video. As you can see, we are mixing close quarter combat, sword fight, dog fight, battleship fight, all of that in the same
on different scales.
On different scales, yes, because the engine is allowing us to do that. And so that seamless aspect is what really, to us, makes exciting what we do. And I have to remind as well that you can play this with your friends, so you can also do this in co-op.
Yeah, you can see it in one of the footage. I think it's pretty.
So what's not seen here, what is not shown here, is that of course you can go in space, see your friends from space, continue the fighting, or see the actions. You can go in cities while all these things are happening. Exactly. So you will discover more of this for E3, of course. But we wanted to share a few seconds of that.
And what we're revealing for the first time is the melee combat. Something also coming from Beyond Good and Evil 1, so we're keeping the same DNA.
So a lot of people may ask, but what is making that combat different from another game?
Exactly.
Just one thing is that you can, as you've seen it, you can attack from your spaceship. You know, start one attack very high and attack down. You can use your
flying ships.
you can use
you
your
can step on a flying ship and
Exactly.
be fighting someone on it. So,
you can use your jetpack during an attack to dodge or to escape very quickly or jump onto another spaceship. So that's the combinations of all those gameplay.
Exactly.
For E3, we will talk more about in-depth gameplays, about things that are making all those different gameplays deep and more able to sustain long time and play styles and all these things. But again, here we wanted to share this piece of footage.
Yes, it's a kind of a sneak peek for you guys.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, thank you for this. This is all we had today for our live stream. However, we've been having a lot of questions from you guys. We've also taken some from the forums and we've taken some from the Discord. So just want to go through them real quick with the guys here. The first one that we got was about brothels. Brothels could be a place where pirates gather intel and get some downtime. Will we be seeing brothels in the game? This was a question from Kierak on our forums. What do you think?
When you look at the trailer for last E3, you have those kind of dark places. That's part of the pirates' way of life. The way the treatment we will made we will be careful about the different aspect of that. But it's part of this kind of world. That's what you can expect. It's a mature game. We don't want to be half pirate or something like that. You know, we want to go in the full role. And it's really about playing the space pirate at 200%.
Yeah.
It's very important.
One direction that we give to the team, and maybe I've said it already last Twitch, but is we're making a space pirate game, right? So everything that pirates do, you just put space in front of it and you do it in the game. It's a key direction for us. So to answer that question, we have space Tortuga Islands where pirates, you know, live their life and spend their money and, you know, have fun. And yes, we will have space Tortuga Islands.
A second question we got from the forums also was a question from Kamito, who is asking, female characters in video games are usually young and sexy or old and not sexy. How about sexy old lizard women?
I think the key word is that we don't want usual things or too usual things. We want all kind of things. You know, that's the theme of. That's why we choose pirates.
Exactly.
Because pirates, they can have scars on their face. They can be small, tall. You know, every genders, every styles, every ethnic origins, every animal origins.
They're okay with diversity. That's something they embrace. Yeah.
That's why I want to play that game. You know, I want to, as an example, I want to build my team with just monkeys. Maybe I'm closer to monkeys than humans. I don't know why it's my nature, what's pushing me into this direction, but I don't want the game to stop me or to, you know, to prevent me from doing this kind of thing. I want to be able to express myself. So yeah, that's a place about Beyond Good and Evil is about diversity, and it's quite important for us.
Yeah, but definitely, I mean, to this question, maybe we won't have this exact example in the game, but our universe supports. Yeah, of course, it fits in the universe. Yes.
Yes.
Another question we got was so a lot of people are obviously
By
asking.
the way, we had a lizard on the picture we showed.
I think
it was
we
not
did.
a. It was. We don't know if it was a female or male. You know, in the
it's never easy to know with lizards.
Like I was saying, a lot of people are asking questions from BGNE1, obviously. So on Discord, we got a question from Johansson69 who asked, will we get answers to the cliffhanger from BGNE1?
I would say yes and no, which is
best answer.
Good answer.
Nice. No, because it's a prequel. So
yes, exactly.
We are not going to tell what happened after, which is the purpose of this cliffhanger. And I would say yes, because most of the mysteries you've seen or you heard and you discovered in Beyond Good and Evil 1 will be revealed or will be explained, or somehow you will face them, you will understand better the origins of Jade.
Yeah, exactly.
It was a big mystery into Beyond Good and Evil 1. Where is she coming from? Who is she? And who are the Doms, for example? Many questions we want to to dig into those questions because
and even the hybrids, it's as simple as that. Because in Beyond Good and Evil, you had hybrids and you had no idea where they're coming from. And here we're going to explain the origins of the hybrids.
It's really a fun moment for us and for you guys with the community, because this BGNE universe is wide and we've got many areas to explore, and we really working in the direction of making it as wide as possible as a universe. So we will dig into more detailed questions that left the first game open, and we will open some new stuff as well. So it's really an immensely rich universe that we want to work with. Yeah.
It's also a way to have people that have never played Beyond Good and Evil 1. I know there are very few people.
Maybe a few of them.
Everybody played it.
Maybe 10 or no, it's a way for newcomers to discover the world, and they don't need to have played Beyond Good and Evil 1. They will discover that world naturally, just by being into the world. Look, we don't want people to go into books or things like that. Just by playing the game, you will feel the history, you will understand.
You will learn more about the world as you play the adventure.
Just when you see giant spaceship, carrying, mining somewhere and bringing the stuff into another city, when you see these kind of things happening, you understand how the world is built, what is happening, and that's the way now worlds are built. In video games, they have to connect with some logical things, so they have to be believable.
Yeah, we have to develop things and stories that are very that we don't even see in games, but that are there for the credibility of the world.
Okay.
Also, was a long answer to a short question.
Yeah. Well, also related to BGNE1, the camera gameplay in the first game was one of the main things, one of the big things that there was to do in the game. And people are wondering, more specifically Lab Pleb on Discord, they want to know if the camera gameplay is something that has been worked on, if we've made new design decisions or even actual implementation of that in BGNE2.
So as you know, you're not playing a journalist anymore in Beyond Good and Evil 2. You're playing a space pirate captain, but we kept the idea of the camera, but it's not a camera anymore because you're a pirate, you have a spyglass. And this spyglass has kind of the same functions that the camera used to have in Beyond Good and Evil 2, but even more things. So you're going to be able to take pictures with it, scan the environment to get more info, all sorts of things. Again, we're not revealing everything today, but it's very a powerful tool also to explore the world, to get more info about the world. So yeah, Spyglass will be something pretty
Spyglass
useful.
Power.
Exactly.
Another thing, so we talked about the character you guys will be playing as, so we'll be playing as a parrot. There is that question about the fact that our character is not a known character from the BGNE1 universe. Is there a chance that we could play as the bad guys helping the super corporation, or are we stuck to being parrots? And this is a question from Canon on Discord as well.
Yeah, that's exactly part of the freedom we want to give to the player. Being good or evil is the title. Exactly. We don't want to force people being good or doing this and that. Yes. So some people could say, but how can you tell a story if you can be both good or evil? And our answer is very simple, is that the world is the story. And for example, if you want to reach the door, you will have to go to different places, you will meet different characters, but the way you will meet them, the ways the different ways and actions you will do to reach them, it's up to you.
It's totally free.
If it's bloody or if it's more smarter, you're more based on actions.
I will choose the bloody approach, for example.
It's very important to give that feeling of freedom, but it's all in the same world. So that's exactly that's part of the DNA of the project.
So you will always be playing a space pirate captain, but if you want to work for corporations, it will be possible.
Yeah, you can.
Something
it can be something
you'll be able to do. Yeah.
You're a pirate. You do what you want, right?
Exactly. Freedom.
So we're taking one last question, and then we'll have to end the live stream for today. Last question we're taking today will be something that's been asked on Twitch by Luxley. Will you find information in the game on what happened to the other systems? So system 4, 5.
So I'm really happy that someone is asking this question, because it's exactly why the world is made like that.
Yeah,
It's very
yeah.
important to keep things mysterious. And
And it means he or she followed really carefully the presentation of Emil.
Yes. Yes.
and we are very happy
Nice. Yep.
about that. Yes, there will be connections, but we say that they spread into space, because now they are distant from each other. But connections are possible for reasons you will understand later, and we don't want to spoil everything. But it's quite the interesting of creating such a rich world, is that you can have many stories, growing from that.
And it's great if people are already imagining connections, stories with what we've been
Absolutely.
showing today.
And we can't wait for stories,
Yes.
made by the space monkeys.
By the way, so since this is the end of this stream, just a reminder to sign up if you want to give your ideas or ask your questions on bggame.com. We're still working hard on the game, and I mean, this has been mentioned a few times during the stream, but thank you. Oh, the smoke machine is on again.
Nice. Now we're talking,
Yeah.
Charlotte.
Space Parrot, co-girl.
Yeah, the space cowgirl, very much. We've been mentioning this, but we're working hard at the moment on E3, and I just want to thank you guys again. As a token, one of our fans has made and given us this 3D printed Jade. It was given in person to Michelle, so thank you guys for your dedication, and just stay tuned for E3.
Thank you.
Thank you
Bye bye,
all.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
See you soon.